Others, how did your child change your life forever? My 6-year-old son, Jake, started asking me weird questions after school pickup. Why does mommy cry in the car? He'd say out of nowhere. She sits there for a long time before we go home. I figured maybe she was just stressed, dealing with work stuff or mom guilt. You know how it is. But Jake kept bringing it up. Daddy, mommy talks to herself in the car. She says sorry a lot. That got my attention. Sorry for what? I asked my wife Lisa about it that night, and she just brushed it off. Jake's imagination. You know how kids are, but something felt wrong. Jake was specific. She always parks by the big tree and cries every Tuesday and Thursday. Those were her volunteer days at the community center. Or so I thought. The next Tuesday, I left work early and followed her route from Jake's school. I stayed way back, feeling ridiculous for basically stalking my own wife. She didn't go to the community center. Instead, she drove 20 minutes across town to a cemetery I'd never seen before. I watched from the parking lot as she walked to a headstone, sat down in the grass, and started crying. Just like Jake said, she was having a full conversation with whoever was buried there, gesturing with her hands, shaking her head. My heart was pounding. Who the hell was she visiting? Why had she never mentioned this? In 8 years of marriage, she'd never once said she was going to visit anyone's grave. I felt sick watching her cry like that. This wasn't just sadness. This was grief. Raw, deep grief that looked like it had been eating at her for years. The way she touched the headstone, the way she curled up next to it. I waited until she left, then walked over to the grave. The headstone read, Michael Chen, beloved son and brother, 1985 to 2010. I'd never heard that name in my life. Lisa and I had been together since 2012. This guy died 2 years before we even met, but the flowers on the grave were fresh. Red roses, her favorite. The grass around the stone was worn down from someone sitting there often. My mind was racing. Had she been coming here our entire relationship? How many lies had she told me? That night, I couldn't eat dinner. I kept staring at her across the table, wondering who the hell I was married to. When Jake went to bed, I confronted her. Who's Michael Chen? Her face went completely white. She sat down heavily on our couch and just stared at me for what felt like forever. He was my fiancé, she finally whispered. He died in a car accident 3 months before our wedding. I was driving. My entire world shifted. We'd been married for 8 years, and she'd never mentioned being engaged before. Never mentioned losing someone so traumatic. Never mentioned feeling responsible for someone's death. I felt like I was looking at a stranger. I killed him, she said, tears streaming down her face. I ran a red light because I was texting about wedding flowers. Something stupid about centerpieces. He was in the passenger seat, telling me to put the phone down. I didn't listen. I walked away with scratches. He didn't walk away at all. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what to say. How do you respond to this kind of secret? The wedding dress is still in my mom's attic, she continued, sobbing now. I couldn't throw it away. I couldn't do anything. I just disappeared for 2 years. Didn't leave my apartment. Didn't talk to anyone. Then I met you, and you made me feel human again. She'd been carrying this guilt our entire relationship, visiting his grave twice a week for years, apologizing to a dead man while our son sat in the back seat, wondering why mommy was crying. Jake had been watching his mother grieve someone he'd never heard of. I thought if I told you, you'd leave me. Who wants to marry someone who killed their first love? Someone responsible for destroying a family? Her voice broke completely. His parents stopped talking to me after the funeral. Jake had unknowingly exposed the biggest secret of our marriage. My wife had been living with survivor's guilt for over a decade, and I'd been completely clueless. We started couples therapy the next week. Lisa finally got the grief counseling she should have had years ago. She still visits Michael's grave sometimes, but now I know why.